Hello, good morning, good evening, um, and possibly good afternoon. मैं तो बस यूं ही आ गई थी. Again, one of those sleepless nights, and this time it is sleepless, not restless, because I had quite a long nap in the evening. Um, because I had a cozy fire on, and yeah, I just fell asleep. Um, and how best to pass the time when you can't sleep is to go live. And I'm beginning to think that I wonder if I do come live to just offload, offload my thoughts, or maybe put some thoughts out into the universe, or I don't know. Um, I need to have that conversation with myself at some point. Okay, why I do this. There's no rhyme or reason. And if anyone's sort of deluded as to, maybe I got um, delusions of grandeur and I want to monetize it, nothing could be far from the truth. I've got 4 people watching. Hello to whomever is watching. But I tell you what did trigger me to come live, and I say trigger me in a good way, uh, not in a way that would normally upset the balance in my forever turmoiled head. Um, there's a lovely young lady that I follow on YouTube, and her name's Simone. And the last video that she uploaded and that I watched was on Nam Jap. And hello big sister, कैसे हैं आप? Hello Defend the Truth जी, आप कैसे हो? Nice to see you. अच्छा लगा आपको देखकर यहाँ. आप अगर आप अपना नाम बता दोगे तो अच्छा लगेगा. और अगर नहीं बताना चाहते वो भी चलो आपकी मर्ज़ी. लेकिन अस्सलाम वालेकुम आपको. तो हाँ, मैं उस बच्ची का मैंने वीडियो देखा और देख के मुझे अपने आप पर थोड़ा-सा वो हुआ कि वो इतनी छोटी उम्र में वो इतनी सियानी है. इतने इतने बड़े दुःख से भी गुज़र के वो इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग है, और उसकी जो आस्था है ना, वो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है. और उसकी आस्था में और अम, उसका जो ट्रस्ट है ना वाहिगुरु जी पर, वो इट्स टू बी एडमायर्ड. वरना अ, बच्चे अमूमन टूट ही जाते हैं अगर ऐसे हादसे से निकलते हैं. तो उनका मैंने वीडियो देखा, और वो नाम जाप के बारे में भी बोल रही थे. डिक्लटरिंग के बारे में ही भी उन्होंने बताया. एंड उससे मुझे भी अम, वो रेज़ोनेट होता है, वो डिक्लटरिंग जो हम करते हैं ना, जो फिज़िकल डिक्लटरिंग करते हैं कि हमारा जो आस-पास का माहौल है, वो हम साफ-सफाई रखते हैं. मुझे मेरा पता है कि मेरे आस-पास अगर थोड़ा-सा भी कुछ उलट-पुलट होता है ना, तो मुझे बहुत उलझन होती है। तो then I can't think straight and पर मुझे तो फिर I've actually got OCD and वालेकुम अस्सलाम, बहुत शुक्रिया सिस्टर, मैंने कल से आपका चैनल देखना स्टार्ट किया तो अगर याद हो आपको सिस्टर और मेरा नाम है वाहिद खान, एज 22 साल है। अच्छा, आप तो बच्चे हो, चलो आप आप आते हो, अच्छा लगता है, आप सुनते हो। अम, लेकिन मैं आपको बता दूँ मेरा कुछ ये रेगुलर नहीं है और मेरा चैनल भी मेरे जैसा रैंडम ही है। आपको अ, मुझसे कुछ ज़्यादा अच्छे की उम्मीद मत रखना। आप प्लीज़ मैनेज योर एक्सपेक्टेशंस बिकॉज़ मैं बहुत रैंडम हूँ। अम, सो हाँ, तो मैं क्या कह रही थी? अम, लेकिन आप आते हो, अच्छा लगता है। अम, मेरा ये भी फंडा होता है कि मैं जब बात करती हूँ, मैं बात करते-करते मैं भूल जाती हूँ। अरे! विन्नी आ गई, मेरी विन्नी आ गई। कैसी है रे विन्नी? कैसी है? मेरी चुटकी ने कुछ और डाला बिन में, कुछ पाया? चलो ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀ ਹਾਂ। all good? That's good, good, good. ਠੀਕ ਆ, very good. ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਆ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਸਿਮੋਰ ਦਾ ਵਲੌਗਸ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਆ, ਹਨਾ? ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਕੁੜੀ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਵਲੌਗ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸੱਚੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਉਹੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ ਕੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਊਗੀ। ਅਜੇ ਤਾਂ ਛੋਟੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਹਨਾ ਇਹ ਇੰਨੀ ਛੋਟੀ ਉਮਰ 'ਚ ਇੰਨੀ ਸੁਲਝੀ ਹੋਈ ਬੱਚੀ ਕਿ ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੀ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਬੁੱਢੀ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਸੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੀ ਬੁੱਢੀ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਅਮ, ਉਹਨੇ ਨਾਮ ਜਾਪ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਵਲੌਗ ਪਾਇਆ ਐਂਡ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਵੀ ਵੇਕ ਅਪ ਕਾਲ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ I don't know, it felt like an instant wake up call ਕਿ ਜੋ ਅਸਲ ਕੰਮ ਆ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਹਨਾ? ਮੇਰੇ ਵਰਗੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਤੀਜੇ ਕੁ ਦਿਨ ਭਾਸ਼ਣ ਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਅਮਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਸ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਜਿਸ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਭਾਸ਼ਣ ਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਐਂਡ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਬੱਚਾ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਉਹ ਉਹਦੇ ਅਮਲ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਕੁੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾ ਲਿਆ ਐਂਡ yeah so this wake up call is for me and to help me put things maybe into a bit of perspective ਹਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਆ ਗਈ ਸੀ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਏਦਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਖ਼ਾਸ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਕੱਲ ਪਰਸੋਂ ਸੀਗੀ ਪਰ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਰੱਜ ਕੇ ਸੁੱਤੀ ਆ ਕਾਲੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਫਿਰ ਓਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ ਏਦਾਂ ਨੀਂਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣੀ ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਲੀਜਨ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਾਸ਼ਣ ਦੇਣਾ about because ਮੇਰੀ ਔਕਾਤ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਆਸਥਾ ਤੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੀ because ਮੈਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੌਸੋਂ ਦੂਰ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹਾਂ from practice. So I really need to practice more than I preach. And I feel the last few days I have been a little bit too preachy, um, which is acceptable if I put it into practice. But, you know, who am I kidding? I'm kidding myself more than anything. And I know that, you know, I go through the motions. So, सारा कुछ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ in terms of morning routine, लेकिन ਕੀ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਲਾ ਲਿਆ, ਪੂਜਾ ਲਾ ਲਈ, um, ਪਰ ਫਿਰ ਅਮਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ। ਨਿੰਜੀ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਨਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਰੋ, stay childish, always life is so precious. Oh, definitely, Vinny. Life, you know, life is so, so precious. But we take life for granted as well. And I'm not going to go morbid, but life's very unpredictable as well. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਸ ਆਹ ਹੀ ਹਫ਼ਤਾ ਲੈ ਲਓ, you know, ਇੱਕ ਖਬਰ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ ਕਿ someone in their late 90s ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਜੂਨ ਭੁਗਤ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਫ਼ਰ, you know, on this earth plane all khatam ho gaya, and it's a life to be celebrated. And then, but in this week I also heard someone who lost a family member who was very, very young, and that's that is very difficult to cope with. ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਸਾਨ ਆ ਕਹਿਣਾ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਈਦਾ ਕਿ ਚੱਲ ਰੱਬ ਸਬਰ ਦੇਵੇ, ਸਬਰ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਨਾ ਇੰਨਾ ਸੌਖਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ। ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਦਾ, ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾ we run out of words to comfort somebody, ਹਨਾ, say ਜਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਫਸੋਸ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋ ਕਰੀਦਾ, ਆਪਾਂ what do we say? The easiest get out clause is for us, ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹੀਦਾ ਚੱਲ ਰੱਬ ਹਨਾ ਸਬਰ ਦੇਵੇ, ਜਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਤੇ ਗੇੜ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਲਿਖੀ ਸੀ ਓਨੀ ਭੁਗਤਣੀ, ਪਰ ਜਿੱਤੇ ਬੀਤਦੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ how they're feeling at the time. ਠਹਿਰੋ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਆਂ ਬਿੰਨੀ। ਮੇਰੇ ਮਮ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਯਕੀਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਤੂੰ ਉਹੀ ਦਿਖ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਭਤੀਜੀ ਨਾਲ ਖੇਲਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਓਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਖੇਡਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ। That's really lovely. ਕਦੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਟੋਰੀ ਸੁਣਾਉਂਗੀ, ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਬਿੰਨੀ, ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਸੁਣਾਉਣਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ, whenever you feel comfortable doing it, huh? Bisharte that you don't give too much personal information. ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਜੋ ਇਮੋਸ਼ਨਸ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਕਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਕਰਦਾ, and but it's very important that if someone opens their heart to you, that then we treat that as a privilege, that we're in a privileged position that someone wants to open their heart to you and they want to talk. I've suffered a lot in my life, but always, Tika, I'll let you complete your sentence, Vinny. Oh, Vinny, I should say Vinny. Forgotten what I was going to say. That's a recurring theme. That's 5 watching. Oh, cute face. You can understand what you mean, ਹਾਂ। ਸੋ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਐਂਡ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਮੈਂ ਰਿਚਾ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਦੋਸਤ ਡਜ਼ਨਟ ਮੈਟਰ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੀਲਾ ਵਸੀਲਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੋਸਤ ਬਣਦੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ YouTube ਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਲਾਈਫ 'ਚ YouTube ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਦੋਸਤੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ of course ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਦੋਸਤੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆ um, but YouTube ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਅੱਛੇ ਲੋਕ ਮਿਲੇ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਤੱਕ ਕਹੂੰਗੀ ਕਿ ਮਾੜਿਆਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦੇ ਅੱਛੇ ਲੋਕ ਮਿਲੇ ਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਪੰਗੇ ਵੀ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਲੜਾਈ ਲੜੂਈਆਂ ਵੀ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਆ it doesn't make them bad, with the exception of Ballu, Banduki, and Sanduki. Okay, it doesn't make them bad. It just makes them human, and we cannot get on with everyone. It's not possible in life. Okay, because then we would all be the same, and believe you me, that gets very boring. And that doesn't mean, okay, that we should be in conflict because life outside of conflict is beautiful, but it's not always possible. It's not always possible. And Arey, Mamta ji, good morning. Good morning, Mamta. कैसे हो आप? ममता, मुझे नहीं पता था बच्चे आपने अम, आपने क्या किया सुबह-सुबह? मैंने वैसे आपकी लाइव सुनी नहीं। मैं ठीक हूँ पुत्र। आप ना अपना गुस्सा शांत करो, ठीक है? अपना जब तक आपका गुस्सा शांत नहीं होगा, आप बैलेंस पर नहीं आओगे, ठीक है? आप बैलेंस पर आओ। जितना हो सकता है आप बैलेंस पर आओ। आपके पूजा का टाइम हो गया? या पूजा कर ली आपके यहाँ अब? अच्छा, थैंक यू ममता। थैंक यू। मैंने बोला था आप सुन लेते हो और आप अमल भी करते हो। हाँ, आप यंग हो और आप बच्चे लोग ना जब गुस्सा आता है तो फिर ऐसे ही होता है। तो अब नहीं होगा दैट्स वेरी वेरी गुड। मुझे पता है आप समझदार हो। और मैं क्या कह रही थी? पता नहीं मैं क्या कह रही थी। हाय माय ग्रे मैटर। मेरे घर वालों को लगता है कि मुझे ना अपना जो ये मेमोरी वाला इश्यू है, इसका कुछ करना चाहिए। तो मैंने बोला कि मैं टेस्ट-वेस्ट तो मैं नहीं करवाऊँगी। अम, लेकिन ये है कि मैं अब उन एक्टिविटीज़ में अपने आप को बिज़ी करूँगी, जो दोबारा अपने ब्रेन को ट्रेन करना होता है कि आप अब फ़ोकस्ड रहो। तो ये सब मैं डेफ़िनेटली शुरू करूँगी। Um, so, Vinny, what was I saying, Butter? See, and the ones that know me, they know that I forget. बात करते-करते मैं भूल जाती हूँ। क्या कह रही थी यार? Oh, अभी तो I have got to be like the worst person to have on a life. मैं कभी-कभी है ना सोचती हूँ कि मुझे नहीं पता कि ऋचा मुझे कैसे झेल लेती है। क्योंकि मैं बात करती-करती मैं स्टॉल हो जाती हूँ। अगर मैं बात करती हूँ तो थोड़ा-सा भी डिस्ट्रैक्शन होता है, मैं बिल्कुल ही भूल जाती हूँ और फिर मेरा तो मेरा इरिटेशन लेवल भी सामने आ जाता है। इरिटेट मैं अपने आप से ही हो जाती हूँ, अगर सच पूछे तो। हाँ, तो क्या कह रही थी यार? हाँ, स ये है ना कि हम लोग ये जो लाइफ है, ज़िंदगी है, इसको तो हम फॉर ग्रांटेड ही लेते हैं। और अम, जो हमारी लाइफ में लोग होते हैं, उनको भी फॉर ग्रांटेड ही लेते हैं। चाहे वो फैमिली हो, चाहे वो फ्रेंड्स हो, है ना? तो मैं वो ही कह रही थी कि यहाँ से बहुत कुछ अच्छा भी मिला है, मतलब कि लोग। दूसरी बात यहाँ से लाइफ लेसन्स बहुत मिले हैं, अच्छे-अच्छे। हाँ, तब पेन होता है, लेकिन क्या करें? मैंने तो अब ऐसे ही सोचा है कि ये जो यूट्यूब के लाइफ लेसन होते हैं ना, इनको जैसे कोई अम, 1 मिनट, ऐनक उठाती हूँ अपनी। सेवन वॉचिंग हेलो कह दो, जो भी वॉच कर रहा है। डरो मत, आई डोंट बाइट, आई एम एज़ ह्यूमन एज़ यू आर। अम, हाँ, सो वो हम फॉर ग्रांटेड ले लेते हैं एंड ये जो लाइफ लेसन्स हमें मिले हैं। हेलो। हेलो ममता। हाँ, तो ये भी ऐसे ही है, वो जो पेनफुल लाइफ लेसन्स हमें मिलते हैं ना, वो एक ऐसे मैं अब सोचने लग गई हूँ कि अगर किसी को गॉलस्टोन्स हो गए, तो वो पेन तो होती है, लेकिन फिर भी निकाले जाते हैं एंड फिर रिलीफ मिलती है ना? एंड हम वो जो निकाल के किडनी स्टोन्स, गोल्ड स्टोन्स जो भी हो हमारा ना, हम वो बेड साइड टेबल पर रख के उनको रोज़ देखते थोड़ी हैं कि ये मुझे दर्द दे रहे थे, तो अब इनको निकाल दिया है, मैं अच्छा फ़ील कर रही हूँ, लेकिन मैं इन गोल्ड स्टोन्स को रोज़ देखूँगी, जस्ट टू रिमाइंड मी ऑफ द पेन। नो, लेट इट गो, लेट इट गो। तो मैं I am going to make a concerted effort to release the pain. I'm not talking about YouTube pain, okay? Because this is all rather fluid. But I'm talking about pain in life. I'm talking about real life now. Big sister, मैं पहले YouTube movies तब मैं देखता रहता था। 15-20 दिन हो गए कि लाइव लोगों को सुनना स्टार्ट है और यहाँ अंदाज़ा हो गया कि इंसान को खुद अच्छा बनना चाहिए है, सारी दुनिया अच्छी है। हाँ, बिल्कुल। Well, no, actually, not बिल्कुल, I'll take that back. सारी दुनिया तो अच्छी नहीं है, ये तो मुमकिन नहीं है। हाँ, क्योंकि दुनिया मैं पंजाबी च बोलूँगी कि दुनिया भांति-सभांति आ, रंग-बरंगी आ, है ना? हरेक दी जर्नी डिफरेंट आ, हरेक दी पर्सनैलिटी भी डिफरेंट आ एंड आई थिंक ज़्यादातर तो वी हैव टू मैनेज आवर एक्सपेक्टेशंस। लेकिन अगर कुछ अच्छा मिलता है इस दुनिया से, तो अच्छी बात है। अगर बुरा मिलता है दुनिया से, अम, अगर सहने की क्षमता है तो ठीक है, सह लो, सब्र कर लो, अगर ज़रूरी है तो फाइट बैक भी करना होता है क्योंकि हम फाइट इन एक्सट्रीम सर्कमस्टेंसेस वी गो इनटू फाइट और फ्लाइट मोड। अम, या हट जाओ, पीछे हट जाओ। लेकिन ये बातें मैं दोबारा-दोबारा नहीं दोहराऊँगी बिकॉज़ अम, ये लाइव शुरू करने का मेरा यही था कि हाँ, उस बच्ची का मैंने वीडियो देखकर it really did give me a wake up call कि वक़्त आ गया है कि जो असल मकसद है ज़िंदगी का, मैं अपनी ज़िंदगी का बात कर रही हूँ 'cause I'm not here to preach, especially not about faith, पर जो असल मकसद है, मैं कहीं न कहीं जहाँ मैं बहुत प्रायोरिटी दे रही थी, it somehow it fell in that list of priorities, which is wrong. लेकिन सुबह उठकर वही रूटीन के थोड़ा-सा नाम जाप कर लेना, पाठ लगा लेना, पहले तो मैं साथ-साथ करती भी थी। और इनफैक्ट जब मैं ठीक नहीं थी, माय अमृत वेला वाज़ अ लॉट मोर रेगुलर। तो अब मैं ठीक हो गई हूँ, तो मुझे लगता है वाओ! अब मुझे दुनियादारी में दोबारा खुभना चाहिए, है ना? तो वो अमृत वेले भी मैं नहीं उठती, नाम जाप तो मेरे कहीं कहीं भी नहीं, प्रायोरिटी में नहीं। हाँ, ये नहीं कि मैं नहीं करती, ऑब्वियसली मैं करती हूँ, लेकिन फिर जो भी होता है, जो भी रूटीन में होता है क्योंकि हम स्मार्ट वर्ल्ड में रहते हैं, तो सब कुछ प्रोग्राम हुआ है कि वो ही डिवाइसेज़ चाहे अलेक्सा ले लो, जो भी ले लो, जैसे भी हम अपना अम, स्मार्ट स्टफ को शेड्यूल किया होता है, वो 4 बजे आसा दी वार भी लग जांदी आ and I sleep through it, whereas before I never used to. मैं उठ खड़ती सी and lots and lots of things in routine and ਉਹੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੁੱਖ ਦਾ ਸਾਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ and ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਸਲ ਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਈ ਕਿ I'm not here to people please. I'm not here to please the world. The goals are different. And if a girl that young has really put me to shame because ਉਹੀ ਆ ना सुख में सिमरन अम, क्या कहते हैं दुख में सिमरन सब करे और सुख में करे ना कोई ਉਹੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੇ ਲਾਗੂ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਲਾਗੇ-ਸ਼ਾਗੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ because um over the last year or whatever ਜੋ ਵੀ ਸੀ ਹਨਾ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਫੇਰ ਦੁੱਖ ਕੱਟ ਲਿਆ ਉਦੋਂ ਉਦੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਧਿਆਨ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਉੱਥੇ ਕ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ and then when Baba Ji's fixed me in many ways, I'm not just talking about mental health and emotional health and, whatever I wanted. In fact, everything that I wanted, ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿਨ ਮੰਗਿਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, look, I've gone back to life. I've come back to life. I'm going to start living life again. And ये conversations हुए हैं over the last few weeks, मेरी फैमिली के साथ और मेरे दोस्तों के साथ दोस्तों ने भी कहा है इट्स रियली गुड you've really come back to life you've got that zest आप बाहर निकलते हो आप हंसा मखौल करते हो अब तो अगर आपको कोई इनवाइट कहीं करता है आप चले भी जाते हो ये वो आप कपड़े भी रंग बिरंगे पहनते हो ये And I'm thinking, I'm so ungrateful. I am unbelievably ungrateful कि जहाँ बिन माँगे, है ना? जो जितने भी दुःख थे, ये नहीं कि सिर्फ़ दुःख क काटे गए मेरे, उनको सुख में भी कन्वर्ट कर दिया। एंड आई एम लाइक yeah, पाठ लगा लेती हूँ, चलो मेरा फ़र्ज़ पूरा हो गया। जहाँ 2.5 घंटे बैठना चाहिए, मैं भी 20-30 मिनट बैठकर एंड आई ट्रीट इट लाइक अ chore एंड आई shouldn't. I really shouldn't. And I don't even know why I'm saying this on a live. I really don't. But chalo, maybe I find this. I don't know if it's catharsis. I don't think it is. But it's been one of those weeks that have been very sort of, you know, up and down, and there's been a lot of reminiscing, and for whatever reason, maybe it's the. And again, you know, before I was interested in planetary placements, and if I was going through certain emotions, just typically like today, uh, something slipped out of my hand, and it was a flute type candle holder made of glass, and I've always had it. No matter where I've been, I've always been lucky to have a proper fireplace. So, and it's always had a place. But obviously, I had to load the fireplace with the logs, and my elbow caught it and it broke. And I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, मैं इन्ना साम के इन्ने सालां तो एक चीज रखी आ, है ना, because it's tangible and it's something. Um, it's broken. I know I can't get it replaced because I've had it for a long, long time, but it's always been almost like a permanent fixture in my life. चलो ठीक है, और मैं replace नहीं कर सकती. I brushed it up and threw away. And again, this is my brain went into, well, I wonder if it's retrograde. I wonder if that's why my devices are being a bit funny. I wonder if that's why this is broken. I wonder if, you know, my brain went into that mode. And then नींद नहीं आ रही थी, वही उस बच्ची का मैंने लाइव सुना. And within the first 5 minutes, the first thing that came to my mind was, well, actually, you know what? It's no big deal, that thing breaking. You've had it for a long time. Does it really matter? No, because it's a thing. Will I replace it? No, I won't. Because I'm going to relearn how to let go. And that's not just letting go of things. I am going to relearn how to let go of certain feelings, emotions, गुस्सा, प्यार. क्योंकि कई बारी हमें ना प्यार को भी let go करना चाहिए. Because if we don't, then we're stuck in the past. Sorry sister, मेरा मतलब ये कि यानी इंसान को अच्छा बनना चाहिए है, बाकी आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक से, दुनिया में हर किस्म के लोग हैं, बाकी सिस्टर मैंने कभी ज़िंदगी में ऐसी लाइव स्क्रीन पर ना कमेंट किया है, ना कैसी बात की है, कोई बात नहीं. We all have to start somewhere. आप यहाँ पर ना, चलो मैं तो अकेली हूँ, मैं जज नहीं करती, लेकिन मुझे ये भी पता है कि अगर विन्नी यहाँ है, सुनती है, तो वो भी जज नहीं करती। जो मेरा सर्कल है ना, um, the tribe that I vibe with, वो बड़े अच्छे लोग हैं, हँसमुख लोग हैं। तो यहाँ तो कोई जजमेंट होगी नहीं। अ, जैसे भी लिखना चाहते हो तो आप लिख सकते हो, कोई बात नहीं। अभी आप छोटे हो, आहिस्ता-आहिस्ता अम, जैसे दूसरी लाइव्स भी आप अटेंड करोगे, तो आपको भी बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलेगा। Um, it's happened again, hasn't it? I've got to start these exercises to train my brain. Um, so I've got 6 people watching. You can say hello. I don't bite. Okay? You can. What's the worst that's going to happen if you say hello? I'll say hello back, unless, of course, you're Jalebi Baby. Then I'm sorry. You've been vile. You've been vile to my friends, so I won't acknowledge you. And that's where I need to get to with that Hathni as well. I have to blank her from my mind. Caveat being, until and unless the idiot just ups the ante on misbehaving with people that are dear to me. And I will add, even the ones that aren't like dear to me, but are potentially um on her list of targets, and it is a list. She has got a list, and she's very indiscriminate with her lists. So, and she's not methodical. There's nothing systematic about the way she operates. Um, so, yeah, I'm not going to allow her to go on a mental recruitment campaign so that she can have people targeted by twisting the narrative about what they mean about, um, you know, this. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah. So if she thinks she can target someone because that girl is flying solo, excuse me, um, she can think again, because on a humanitarian level, and everybody's different, and I'm beginning to sound repetitive, but अगर चलो my जो आस्था है, faith, I've slipped from that and I openly admit that, right? But in terms of um, assault and principles for life, yeah, I put them into practice. Yeah. So I won't allow you to. And anyone, there's another thing. When people go quiet and they don't respond, the idiots like Bully take that as a sign of weakness. It is not a sign of weakness. One, Bully, these people have a full and busy life and they're getting on with their life. You're not their focus. You want to be their focus, but you're not their focus. And the other thing is, and I know you listen to everybody's lives, सबको सुनती है, सबको। तो ये भी पता होना चाहिए ना कि लोगों की लाइव्स में उनका काम है, घर है, फैमिलीज़ होती हैं, फैमिलीज़ में खुशी भी होती है, फैमिलीज़ में गमी भी होती है। तो वो अपनी असल लाइफ की खुशियाँ और गम छोड़ के तुझ पर तो फ़ोकस नहीं करेंगे ना। You want to be the center of attention, but it's not going to happen, right? So suck that up, cupcake. People will go for you as and when they want to. मैं कमेंट लिखता हूँ, मेरी उँगली काँपती है। अच्छा, बस मैं बैठ के सुनता हूँ, अगर कभी बात बुरी लगे माज़रत चाहता हूँ। क्या बच्चों की बातों का क्या बुरा लगेगा? और अगर कुछ बुरा लगा तो मैं तो सामने से बोल ही देती हूँ, ठीक है? हाँ, और मेरी as सच कोई टॉपिक है नहीं, सो मुझे नहीं पता आपको मेरी बातों का बातों से एक्चुअली क्या मिलेगा या क्या समझ आएगी, है ना? क्योंकि जिनकी मैं बात कर रही हूँ, उनको तो आप नहीं जानते होंगे unless you are one of those. Well, I know what I wanna say, I'll just give you the benefit of the doubt at the moment. So, people are slipping in and out of the life, which is obviously their prerogative, um, but जो भी सुन रहे हैं, यहाँ कोई ख़ास सेंसेशनलिज़्म तो मिलेगा नहीं। और जो लोग मुझे जानते हैं, वो उनको भी ये पता है कि that I will jump from topic to topic. But mainly, I think, you know, why I why I've started to talk is because, yeah, that young lady's vlog, it was a real wake up call, and it was instant. It wasn't something that I just listened to and then I'll ponder over it in the morning. मतलब अब सो जाती, नींद कहाँ आनी थी मुझे, लेकिन जागती-जागती ponder करती, सोचती, नहीं, it was instant, absolutely instant. और कभी-कभी ये भी होना चाहिए, है ना? And I know मैं introspection पर बहुत बात कर चुकी हूँ। मैं अम, जो हमारा शैडो सेल्फ होता है, मैं उस पर भी बात कर चुकी हूँ कि उसके साथ अपन अपना जो अम, परिचय कराना चाहिए। You need to introduce yourself to your shadow side, because until and unless you do that, you will continue to just go through life with blinkers, and that becomes detrimental in the end, because then we only think about ourselves. हमें जो हमारे इर्द-गिर्द, आस-पास, आगे-पीछे, हमें उससे कोई फिर मतलब नहीं रहता, क्योंकि हम सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ़ अपने आप का ही सोचते हैं कि हमारी फीलिंग्स हर्ट हुई हैं, मुझे ये चाहिए, मुझे इसने ये कहा, मुझे it becomes me, 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 and well, I don't think people like that. जब ना लाइफ मी बन जाती है, तो फिर हम सिर्फ अपने आप I'm gonna switch to Punjabi now. Um, फिर ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਜੋਗੇ ਹੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਫਿਰ ਇਸ it just ਏਦਾਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਉਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਆ, ਬਸ ਮੇਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਹੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਆ। ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ, ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹੀ ਆ ਨਾ ਕਿ ਈਰਸ਼ਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣੀ ਆ। Later on in life, it all catches up with you, all of it. So, I think I wanted to sing a song that it's come into my head. और पता नहीं यार what's and again I don't know what planetary placements are like. मैं तो पहले ये भी बड़ा मैंने स्टडी किया था planetary placements के क्यों बेवजह मैं सैड हो रही हूँ या क्यों बेवजह छोटी-छोटी बातों पर मैं गुस्सा हो जाती हूँ या छोटी-छोटी बातों पर मैं हैप्पी हो जाती हूँ। क्या हो रहा है? हाउ आर द प्लैनेट्स प्लेस्ड? ये है ना? अम, पर ये सब हम करते हैं अपने आप को तसल्ली देने के लिए कि कोई ना इस हफ्ते प्लेसमेंट्स ऐसे हैं, अगला हफ्ता अच्छा होगा क्योंकि प्लेसमेंट्स डिफरेंट होंगे, है ना? तो मैं एस्ट्रोलॉजी को नकारती नहीं हूँ, बिल्कुल भी नहीं। आई मीन आई there is such a deep connection with astrology and I don't want to go too deep into this, but I do believe in it. I do believe in astrology, but not to a point where I'm going to let it dictate my life or let it control my life. And again, keep, I was about to swear, I keep forgetting what I was going to say. I think, um, well, if there's 6 of you watching, can one of you have the courtesy to just sort of give me a cue as to pick up pick up exactly where I left off when I lose my trail of thought? As listeners, you can at least do that for me. Come on. Um, keep doing this. I keep losing my trail of thought. Yeah, so planetary placements. And some people misuse astrology, and I'm going to say this openly, and they misuse it in a way that if they've behaved badly, they'll just blame exactly where their planetary placements were, which is a load of bollocks. Because if you've lost all sense of control and you honestly believe that all your behaviors and all your actions are being driven by the planets, then you really need to get a grip. And I'll give a disclaimer, although I don't know if I need to because this is my channel. You know, all the views and opinions and all the shit that's coming out my mouth, they're mine. Okay? Nobody else's. It's a bit like I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to um, make some like a gava type of thing. And I'm going to put a little bit of salt in it and I'm going to put a little bit of green elaichi in it and I'm going to boil it up. And then I'm going to let it cool down a little bit and I will probably drink a quarter of the amount that I've boiled up. And the rest I'll put in a cup, I'll cover it and I'll have it in the morning. Now, for me, that works because when my emotions are up and down, something that I was told years and years ago was a bit of saunf and a bit of elaichi, soak it or boil it, drink it, and it brings your emotions back to balance. Disclaimer, it works for me. If you want to try it, you know, fill your boots. It may not work for you because at the point that I was told that it works, and it does work for me, I was at a point in life where, you know, my emotions had gone for a toss, and I was so desperate. I was desperately desperate for some s emotional relief, and I was not prepared, um, to go down that conventional route where, the doctor prescribes you some pills and you start popping them, and suddenly, you know, everything's okay in the world. I've never taken an antidepressant in my life, but I was desperate to start to feel normal again, and so that was suggested. I had it, and it worked. So for me, it works, and I will only give it as a suggestion. If your emotions are up and down and you're feeling slightly unstable at the moment, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹੀਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਾ ਉਤਰਦੀਆਂ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀਆਂ ਆ ਫੀਲਿੰਗਸ ਜਾਂ ਉਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਕਾਲਾ ਮਾਲਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਆ। ਸੋ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸੌਂਫ, ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਇਲਾਇਚੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਚ ਭੇਜ ਕੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਬੋਇਲ ਕਰ ਲਿਓ, ਫਿਰ ਠੰਡਾ ਕਰ ਲਿਓ, ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪੀ ਲਿਓ ਸੌਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ, ਤਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਪੀ ਲਿਓ ਐਂਡ ਕਾਲਾ ਮਾਲਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਬ੍ਰੇਨ ਫੌਗ ਮੇਰੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬ੍ਰੇਨ ਫੌਗ ਹਟ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ। ਐਂਡ ਹਜੇ ਕਿ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਦੀ ਤਸੀਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਠੰਡੀ, and it could be that maybe ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ see there's many possibilities. It could be that all the other shitty crappy meds that were pumped into my body, um obviously with the garmi hundiyan, maybe it just cooled it down. I don't know. Loads of possibilities, but it works for me. Could be placebo for all I know, Hannah. So the six of you watching, listening to me rambling on like some nutcase who hasn't got a clue if she's coming or going. But you've stuck with me, so thanks. Great. I've got 8 minutes and I can complete the hour. I've got none of my friends from across the pond. They don't love me anymore. I was thinking about my YouTube consumption, not in terms of how much I consume, but more, again, checking in on myself on what I consume. And I can say I'm really proud of myself in terms of the discipline I've instilled in myself, in as much that I won't listen to arseholes, namely one arsehole, Jalebi Baby. I won't listen. In fact, I won't listen to anything that I think that's going to hurt my ears, and I won't listen to anything that is going to hurt the people that I care about. Yet, when I do hear about it, when I do hear that those people have been hurt, then I get pissed off. So I didn't really know what had happened early this morning because, I was awake until 3 or 4 o'clock just talking, rambling. Anyway, so then obviously I went to sleep, but I didn't wake up early, and by then the live had been done and I don't listen. So I went into Richard's live sort of half cocked because I'd sort of touched on it on Thanu's live that I was going to elaborate, but obviously not knowing what had happened. And then, yeah, then you find out that your mates have been bashed again. And that's not a good feeling. It is not a good feeling. Because ultimately, you're attacking people that you don't know. And the motive for attacking them One, it's not clear. Two, it's not justified. Three, there's going to be kickback, and then it's just going to get ugly. So, ना करो, ना करो, किसी के लिए ये अच्छा नहीं है। और ये मैं उस वाली जलेबी बेबी, चिक्कट चमेली, आई मीन कितने नाम पड़ गए इसके अब। उसको नहीं कह रही क्योंकि ये तो आवाज़ नहीं आएगी। ये तो आदत से मजबूर है ना। आदत, फितरत, I don't even I do wonder if she has some sort of personality disorder though. Having said that, the way I'm rambling on at the moment, one could argue that maybe I've got some sort of personality disorder as well, but I think I might go and get mine checked out. Um, these pregnant pauses, they piss me off. I'm beginning to piss myself off now because that's how quickly I'm losing my own threads. But what was I saying? You know, I don't know who's listening, but I think not one of you, not one of you have had the decency to take the role of like a teleprompter. Just teleprompt me, guys. You can't just sit there and listen. I mean, if you're listening and laughing, well, good on you. At least I gave you a bloody laugh. I could tell you a joke, but I don't know. But it's in Punjabi and it's in Tate Punjabi. And um oh, oh God. The tagline and the way it ends is Ganja de Cheer, and that just reminds me of something else, and I don't want to go there because I've tried to detox my brain away from that. Again, caveat, until and unless she comes on and she wants to pick another fight, then, you know, bring it on. Because it's thriller nights. No, stop. Yeah, so I'm wondering if Chikka Jamili has got some sort of personality disorder. Ultimately, right, she's screwed up big time. She's screwed herself up. And she can sit there and she can threaten X and threaten Y and threaten whoever she likes. None of it's going to wash because she's an idiot. She really is. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗਾਣਾ ਚੇਤਾ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨੀ ਸੂਟ ਸਵਾ ਦੇ ਮਾਈਆਂ ਵੇ. Yeah, my voice isn't really going to hold up, is it? What was I going to say? Yeah, I think it's really selfish of you guys to just sit there and listen and not be my teleprompters. Be useful, guys. I mean, you're on like some senile biddies live, and you can see that I keep forgetting what I'm saying, but you haven't even got the decency to prompt me. Um, well, I'm going to do that thing where I'm going to put the stupid music on, leave it on, and go downstairs and go and make that song from that Elechi. And I think today, well, not I think, I know it's Friday night tonight. And then I'm going to get Saturday and Sunday out of the way because for me, Saturdays and Sundays are not really for YouTube. They're for me. But Sunday night, I am going to get back into my routine of cutting everything off at 8:30 in the evening, and then going to bed for 9 and getting myself back into that routine. Because come Monday, then I intend to do some work. This week has been a bit, been a bit up and down in terms of work. But hey, I've got the luxury to work whenever I want to work and not work when I don't want to work. And I've earned that luxury after all these years, so, you know. But in other news, oh, flights have been booked, so I've got something to look forward to. Um, yeah, I'm going to put the music on going downstairs. If it's 4 of you listening, and not one of you got the decency to just go, "Hi, hello, how are you, buddy?" Chalo, what could I put? Feeding the ducks? And I'm going to put it on loud as a punishment for not interacting. See, that's 1, 2 gone. Good. If you're not going to interact, there's no point listening. I'm going to make it loud. किसी ने कभी हॉर्लिक्स में सौंफ इलायची डाल के पी है? It's really nice. एक बंदा बंदी रह गया है, पता नहीं कौन है। बैठे रहो, मुझे क्या? Welcome back. I'm drinking Horlicks with elaichi in it and a little bit of salt, and it's really nice. You should try it. And it's Horlicks light. It's not like heavy Horlicks. I've just figured out. I've just figured out who the CCTVs might be. Talk Chatti and her donkeys in tutus. हाँ, याद आया मुझे. It's almost like my sixth sense then kicked in. Her donkeys in tutus. I haven't forgotten. उस पर भी मैं आऊँगी गिरगिट से. Google की गिरगिट. I haven't forgotten, but I really can't be asked to deal with her at the moment. She's a tool, an absolute tool. It is so cold in the UK. So, so cold. Oh, I think I've turned the music off now. And it's 2:28 and I'm still nowhere near sleepy. Oh dear. I think our weather forecast is maybe a little bit of snow towards the weekend, but yeah, the weather forecast is not exactly reliable. Do you know what would be really funny if I just put my phone to the side now, um, leave the live running, unmuted, of course, and then fall asleep, and then give you all a really good laugh because, oh my God, I snore, and I wake myself up snoring. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I know people can get really embarrassed about snoring, but it is what it is. And there can be many reasons why we snore. Uh, could be a weight issue, could be breathing difficulties, in some cases, sleep apnea. And sometimes I do believe it can be genetic, but people get so embarrassed if someone says, "Oh, you were snoring last night. I could hear you from the other room." They're like, "I don't snore. I don't snore." Well, if you do, you do. What's there to be embarrassed about? No, it's as normal as having gas. A bit like Dahi Balla. Chickeny Jamili, Chickar Jamili. She's constantly full of gas. I'm sure she sits there just farts all the time. And it's natural. It's normal. Better out than in. And that's the same for snoring. If you're snoring, at least you're still breathing, okay? And anyone with sinusy issues, they snore as well. You know, I haven't even, I was going to say I haven't had the time. I have had the time, but I haven't bothered even looking at the news today. So I don't know where they're at with old Trumpy Bumpy. And when I say news, I don't mean the mainstream media. They're all idiots. What I did see flash in front of me was some really distasteful videos posted online of Darminder Ji, uh, and I do believe that he's at home because from what his wife Prakash Ji said in Punjabi, I understood कि तुसी घर आया, तुसी बोलो. And whoever, um, you know, what a horrible breach of privacy and putting a family's dignity on the line By then, I don't know who they gave the footage to, but it's not right, is it? That was a really, really private moment that should never have been made public because his wife's never um, been a public figure. They've always protected their privacy, and to see her so distraught, that was heartbreaking. And unless you've been through something like that yourself, you will not understand what it feels like to see someone, that you love dearly. And I think she's probably spent a good 65, 70 years with him because I do believe that, and I might be wrong, but Sonny, the eldest, he is in his late 60s. So, and it is really difficult. And then they made that public. They made a very private moment that should have been for family only. They made that public. And that is just, yeah, that is stooping to a a real horrible low. And then it's understandable that, Sonny was, well, Sonny used the words that he used for the paps. I'm not going to call them media. They are paps. They're like leeches. Horrible. Indian paps. They have no respect for people's privacy at all. Wrong. And distressing to watch. I mean, he is an absolute national treasure. I think we'd be hard pressed to find anyone in the world who would have something negative to say about Dharminder Ji. Yeah, and I know people judge his second marriage and all the rest of it, but as a person, I think he's absolutely adorable. And we can just pray that, Babaji grants him good health and he recovers to, the best he can and sits amongst his family, his wife, his children, his grandchildren. अरे! ये कौन आया? ये कौन आया? Where have he gone? I must have missed a comment. I was listening to the other live. Hello, Rich. How are you, my lovely? Right. I was listening to the other live. Oh, where's these comments keep getting blocked with this bloody dollar sign? I was listening to the other live where you spoke about fractured friendships and how a good friend would try to resolve or mend things between two people. I understand what you were saying, but just wanted to add that it made me sad. Oh, I don't want you to be sad. You're the last person in the world that I want to make sad. Don't be sad, please. See, this girl, she says it as it is. She doesn't hold back, and that's what I find adorable in her. She does not hold back. And again, she's very precious to me. And yeah, I do feel very protective about her. Although she'll say, I'm okay, I can handle myself. I know you can. I know you can. But, anyway, hello, how are you? No, no, just what you said was good. I agreed. But then I'd give them me first, and I believe in it too. So me first. Um, so Rich, yes. So me first. I agree, and that's the right thing for you to do for you, but you're not blinkered. And one could argue that I'm saying that because you're precious to me and I would be very biased. Um, but you're not selfish. Oh, it's afterwards. She's gone, "Hi, it's cold. I'm good. Hope you're good too." यार क्या formality करती हो? हैं? क्या formality करती हो? Um, cold? It's bloody freezing. It is. Oh God. But I say it's freezing, but then I can't put the central heating on because then it just bungs me up. And yes, I've bought one of those humidifiers, and it's not really made that much of a difference. I just jump to the point. I know you do. Hi, hello, go. अरे यार. Hi, hello, Coco. ने में डाल दिया हाँ. And did you finish the season of? No, I've got a couple more to do. I oh my God, Rich, I made I don't know, I think it was a really ill-informed decision to watch Adolescence, and I did it because it was only 4 episodes, and the 3rd episode, I don't know if you've watched it. Tell me if you've watched it, and then I can then give you, I'll give you my take on the 3rd episode. Just tell me if you've seen it. Laugh my ass off, okay? Traumatic. So from that, I take it that you've watched it. Actually, Rich, I did a few weeks back, yeah. Well, the 3rd episode where it's just him and the psychologist, I watched it 3 times and I was just I couldn't believe how perfectly that boy, he's a very, very young lad, and they did it all in one take, and the way he switched, but that episode by far, wow, yes, just absolutely amazing. But again, you know, that message that they put out there, I mean, it was just so skillfully written, so skillfully written. I just the only one thing I could not get my head round was, and maybe I've missed it, and maybe I need to watch it again, Rich, but I couldn't get my head round why he idolized his father to the extreme that he did. But it wasn't just idolizing it, was it? He then went on to emulate a lot of his characteristics as well. The 2nd episode, I just think could have been a bit better. But I didn't skip any of it. But that was all those episodes, they were all one take episodes. Now you imagine how much they would have had to have rehearsed to get every single bit of emotion out of all those actors. But that young boy, apparently it's the first time, it's his first job. But it was yeah, it's one of those things that stays with you, and especially if you've got um kids of that age, whether they're your own children or whether they're your nephews or nieces. It really did stay with me for a lot of the week, um, because it's easy to use the parents as a scapegoat and blame them, and But how much can you watch children, especially when they're going into that teenage phase? And I tell you what I really liked. I liked the screaming when the kid screams, I know. It's the when he's screaming at the psychologist, but I think, um, for me, yeah, the James Bulger case, that was slightly different. Um, yeah, that we could discuss that actually, Rich, on a live. We can do a dedicated live on the James Bulger if you like. But in episode 3, when the session was ended, I think for me, that's when I just had a complete meltdown because you just want to reach in and give the child a hug because ultimately it comes down to there's obviously an issue with anger and temper. So, and he's done what he's done and he's got to live with it and he'll be incarcerated. But I just, oh, when when he's smacking the windows, he doesn't want that session to end because it's the only sort of um, normal interaction or connection with a human being that he feels understands him. Yeah, that was a bit. But yeah, that could be something we could. I'd happily discuss the James Bulger case, which again, it's really, really sad. There's another one for Nicola Payne, and I mean, there's so many, aren't there, Rich? So many. I do believe that the James Bulger case is probably one of our initial conversations that you and I had when we first, I'm going to use the word connected. Um, and then, of course, it went on to Come Dine with Me and the Great British Bake Off and all that. But apart from that, can't think of what else I've watched. Tell you what, I did have this urge to watch, but then I'd have to find it and or find one or two. Is I either wanted to watch something with Denzel in it or something with Morgan Freeman in it. Don't know why. Just fancied watching something like that. Oh, yes, I love the food. Oh, Jesus, that sarg. Made sarg a couple of days ago. Nearly killed myself. But it came out okay in the end when I added that shallgum. I had it today as well. I did like a tadka on it and I had it today. It was nice. And I made myself a light version of makki di roti, which I'm not really allowed to have that often because it's one of the things that spikes sugar very quickly. Oh, I'll tell you what I made the other day. I made they're called Garachi biscuits. They're basically butter biscuits with tutti frutti in them, and you can add nuts of your choice. And on my to-do list in the kitchen, I'm making myself a cheese sandwich. What cream cheese or cheddar cheese or toasted cheese? I'd say come up, but you know what's really hilarious with you coming up? and I mean hilarious, is you're talking, and suddenly there's a pan, and you're like, you'll hear a pan and you'll hear this because you're always doing something, which is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm back upstairs now, but I'd gone to make my, oh, oh, wow, lovely. Monterey Jack. Oh, we've got a Waitrose advert out at the moment, and it's got Kira Knightley in it, and one of my favourite comedians, British comedians. It is such a cute ad. I'll have to, if it comes back in my feed, I'll have to send you the link. Um, yeah, if you want to come up, I can paste the link and you can say hello and make your sandwich at the same time. Only if you want to, though. You don't. There's no compulsion. I am not compelling you. You should sleep. No, Rich, I slept in the evening, and I don't just mean a nap. I mean I slept. It was um it was cold. It was really, really cold. Um and as you know, I am not skipping my walks. So I did the walk. It was raining. And it was really, really windy because we're getting a little bit of the brunt of the what they're calling it, Claudia. Um, when I came in, I was absolutely freezing down to my bones, and I was fully waterproof, and then I put the fire on, and the room just warmed up so well. And I was on the sofa, and then before I knew it, I'd been out for hours. And the reason I know I was out for hours without even looking at my watch, the fire was completely out. So, so that's why I'm still awake. I also went downstairs to make my latte and water, and then on the side, oh, good, 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 good. I'm glad. Yeah, on the side, I made myself some light Horlicks, but I made it like a proper Indian pan, milk, not water, pan. And I hate hot milk, but hey ho. Um, and I threw a leche and a couple of dane of saunf and mixed, and then threw the what do you call it, the Horlicks in there, light Horlicks, mixed it. Oh, it tasted amazing, very warming, very weird but warm. But then I sometimes add a leche to my coffee as well. Tastes nice. I think it's a very Arab thing to do. I know the Arabs and the Turks, they add leche to their coffee. What was I going to say? Oh, I don't. I'm so tempted to touch on Trump with you, but I don't think I will, especially if you're making food, because we don't want that sort of energy going into your food. So I've got to, in the morning, I say in the morning, I mean, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning now, but I'm going to be making mulli and methi ali um, missi roti. I've gone back to my to-do list. I'll have to show you. I've got these notebooks with some hilarious covers on it. I'll have to show you. I'll remember tomorrow. Oh my God, they've cracked me up. But I've gone back to doing to-do lists, and I've got two boards in the kitchen, and I'm planning my meals out on them. But having said that, I know what I'm making in the morning. It's going to be slightly unpredictable in the afternoon, especially if the kids come over. But yeah, but I'm back to doing, Mungie Mondays and yeah, planning them out. It just makes it easier. And I'm actually able to stick to a sort of fasting regime, the best I can, and cutting out carbs as much as I can. I'm going to kid myself and say today's yellow roti was a cheat meal. Was it? Heck, it was just me being an idiot because I could have had the sark without the yellow roti. I've even got keto atta, so I could have made it with that because I could have mixed the ragi atta with that and then put some, the maki di atta in that, but nah. But something's working because I've lost a lot of inches, and it is just so good to get into clothes that I thought I'd never be able to get into again. Anyway, 5 more minutes and I'm gonna go because it's gonna be 3 o'clock in the morning. What's it there for you? About 9 a.m., I think. So for my walks, I've obviously I'd started the golfing, so that helped a hell of a lot. But the weather's absolutely rubbish, so rain stop play if you like. But now what I've started to do is I time myself, and if I'm going to walk for an hour, I walk for an hour. I tend to walk really, really fast, but sometimes, I slow down a little bit. But I'll just walk for an hour, and then I'm not really bothered about how many steps I do. But the good thing about being here is it is really safe and it's actually really scenic. There's there's one, no, there's two what we call woods. So back onto two lots of woods. Then there's 2 or 3 parks. There is, of course, the golf course as well, but they've closed that because of the weather. But even if you just do a normal urban walking, it's really safe. And I've even started to walk to town, or what you guys call downtown, which has been good. As long as you're sort of wrapped up, as long as my head's covered and I don't catch a cold to my head, I'm good to walk. Oh my God, Rich, I've got to send you something. I'll send it to you after the live. You are not going to believe. Um, I can't even write it in comments, but it'll either make you smile or it's going to make you frown. My my sister in Canada, she's hilarious. Mm, She's like, really good. I didn't know that you did that. And I was like, yeah, I do dabble a little bit. And she's like, yeah, बिल्ली ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਕੰਮ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ. I just laughed my head off. But yeah, you're either going to smile because you're really happy for me, or you're going to frown and go, well, what the hell are you doing? But either way, I know you won't judge. You'll just tell me off, which is fine. Uh, right then, my love, Liz. Thanks for joining. um, yeah, Rich, I'll send you that now when I close the live at exactly 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. I'm ending the live. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are.